Hello, everybody. This is Bear with Friendly Neighborhood Gamer. I'm my co-host Blue. Tonight we're having Barely Canon. We have our guests with us this evening. We have Goats here. Hello, Goats. And then we have AJ joining us as well. This evening we're going to be talking about Goats' hot topic. Keep it nerdy. Keep it geek. Hot take. Hot topic. I like to go there and get goth paint on my face. Yeah.
I mean, that actually somewhat works with my topic, too.
Oh, see?
Me wearing makeup for you?
No, keeping it hot.
No.
I mean, my topic can have that happen, too. So, yeah.
All right, well, hit me with it. What's up?
AI and TTRPGs is totally valid to use, and we should be less squiggy about it.
Okay.
From
that base statement.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
I'll let you cook on that because I already know how you feel.
Okay, so as someone who created their own TTRPG from like the ground up, I didn't use AI because I feel like I wanted everything to come from me personally, like every thought, every piece of humor. But I will say, I'm like 50-50. I will say AI is great for when you have a blank and you just need something like filled out, and you could even take a reference and like inspiration from that. So I could see how that could be like really helpful.
Okay. You're saying not as like the creation, but of like running a game, correct?
Not running. So it's not a person running, but like just if like help you design the story, help you design the characters. Like when you need you need to have that. You want to make a story or an arc for your adventurers. Using an AI to do that. I think AI is not that great right now at
anything
running stuff.
Right. Most things.
Be more specific.
So she says, "Be more specific."
Well,
that's
no.
what you just did.
So that's what Bear just did. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like I would say about 80% agree.
Okay.
Hard disagree.
So
I can elaborate. But
0%?
0%.
Okay. Well, I would like to know why, because it would help me make a better counter army. Know why.
So I hard disagree because the creativity part, the AI will never be able to kind of fully tool or help out with. When it comes to data processing, I can see the usage of that. But if we're speaking specifically on creating new worlds, creating new scenarios, creating new characters, or at least giving you a blank slate or a starting point, then even with that, there are so many resources that exist for people that have created for different prompts and stuff. And yes, you can end up in a situation where you end up just kind of having the same 5 stories amongst the same 5 tropes. But AI won't help that because AI is taking those same 5 tropes and then just kind of mishmashing together and trying to predict some stuff and then giving you some hallucinations and saying, hey, how about this? And you're saying, oh, I can make that work in my world, which, sure. But in my humble opinion, do some more creative writing. In my humble opinion, just kind of rely on, talking to your fellow writers, go into your communities, go into the forums, go into the cons and talk with other people and just exchange the ideas. And the last thing I'll say, the reason why I was very excited about the system that you were talking about is because there's so many cultures that you can pull inspiration from and be respectful of the cultures. There's so many stories, there's so many folk tales, there's so many back histories, there's so many things you can pull from, but we always seem to pull from the same 5 different pools. I don't know what those 5 pools are, but and I'm being hyperbolic in that statement. But what I'm trying to say is like you can do a story about a hero's quest without making them fucking Japan again. It's like, why is it always like I'm a samurai that's been a ronin and I'm trying to do something? It's like we've seen that before. Do something else. Like let's go to this culture over here that does things a little bit different and try to see what their stories are and maybe increment that. Anyway, that's a very long-winded way to say that I don't think AI will be able to ever do that. I think AI could get to a stage where it can do that, and then when it does, I will be ready to get my pitchforks and murder it.
Fair enough. So first thing I want to say is kind of to your statement about the regurgitating stuff. I mean, how many times we do the hero journey? Hero journey is a staple for a reason.
It is, and I agree. A trope for a reason.
And kind of also to your point about the whole Ronin thing, you can probably ask AI to be, don't do the typical Ronin quest. We want to do this. I mean, it's about you got to be good at making the prompt,
right?
But I mean, my thing about it is, for example, is I'm currently about to run a tabletop RPG, and I was let me try. I want to try to see if AI help me DM, help me come up with a story. I'm gonna throw it to the characters. They do their interactions. I'm gonna say, AI, here's what they did in the last session. What happens next? Help me build that. What happens next? And it would require me to work on the prompts.
Right.
But like one thing it made interesting was, so in this world, a world helped me create it.
Whoops, my bad.
Bear, give him his dice back.
Nope, I just watched that bitch roll right on the table.
Oh, so mean. So
I'm over here letting it cook.
In the world it helped me create it made a cultural system where when people introduce themselves, they give you a card with their motto or creed on it.
Right.
And I was like, I would have never thought about that. And it was because I used AI and it pulled together from somewhere that it did this. And I mean, I think really good DMs sometimes come with their own spin on the story, but they usually get inspired by something else. And AI, AI is just combining all the inspiration into one thing you can use.
Right.
Now, again, I would not say it can run a game.
Right.
Far from ready from that.
No,
I have played with that and tried it, and it gets to be where you're almost babysitting it.
Yeah,
correct.
I'd rather just
do it myself.
Sushi says, I feel like if you're running a game at home with friends, I don't care. I also don't care if you're using the art for for character icons. I don't agree with using it to make money. If you're monetizing it,
okay, I agree. That's copyright issue. I think that is.
Well, I don't think it's copyright. I just feel like there are, again, going back to what Orange was saying. There are, like, instead of perfect example. We're running I have AI art when you see my show on YouTube, and the intro is AI. But my channel is not monetized.
Right.
As soon as we get to the point where we're big enough and we start having
a
people
budget
and we're doing monetization, then I will get an artist and I will.
Why?
And I will,
was just existing peacefully.
I'll pay somebody for it.
Yeah.
That being said, we're about to start recording our TTRPG in January, and I'm hoping that'll be the thing that gets us over that. So I have hired an artist who's going to do character draw ups and posters for the first season.
Okay, that's good.
But I've already dropped $1,000 into that. We're probably going to be $2 more thousand.
1,500.
Let me hold something.
So.
Right. Well,
it's
it's a tenuous topic, and like I have some very strong feelings against AI in general because the general concept of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, the word is right there. I see it. Austerity. The general concept of austerity, putting in measures that make it to where the workplace gets or bosses are trying to make people feel a little bit less motivated, and maybe they'll go somewhere else, or maybe they'll just capitulate and just go with the shitty rules and the shitty way that things are. AI has been a big boom for that, as in, hey, we're going to use AI and we're going to replace our staffing. We're going to replace 40% of our staff with AI, and it's like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It's not going to work. That's going to fail miserably. I think the AI bubble is actually going to burst, and it's going to cause a whole lot of problems. But that's a whole business economic thing.
And also, that's a whole different subject. But the reason I'm saying is because, like, I have a very bad taste in my mouth because of that.
Yeah.
And, like...
Because you work in the tech industry, and that's what's happening.
That's what's happening in my current workplace, and it's really frustrating.
And I get that, but I think it's like any technology. It's new, and any company's going to exploit to the maximum they can. But it doesn't mean it's bad. Because I think if you go back in time, TV was bad, radio was bad, cars were bad, and then people cell phones were bad.
I feel like those are very apples to oranges, because this is creative versus that's entertainment.
What has AI created?
I mean, AI
name a thing that AI has created. TV has given us broadcast, has given us like public broadcasting, has given us these things. Radio has given us information travel.
That was not the direction I was going. Let me go in the direction I want to go.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Well, again, I feel very passionate about this one, so my apologies.
How many games have you run?
Damn. No. Wait.
Maybe 6 games.
So hold on. Just to interject. Sushi says anxiety. I agree, Sushi. AI has created anxiety. Okay.
So you've run more than 6 games.
I can think of on top of my head. I think 6 games where I'm in the DM and ran it
for sessions.
I've been in multiple games.
Those games, some of those games, I'm assuming were before AI was abundant.
Well before. Yeah.
So the issue I have with AI is that you already know how to do these things. You're just very busy. You have ideas, you know the systems, you know all that stuff. So you can run games without AI. The issue I'm seeing with AI is that it is a tool that somebody can use. Where unfortunately now it's getting to be the point where people, when they create their characters, instead of being creative, they just go, "Hey, I've got a character idea. Here it is. Write up a paragraph. Here's my backstory." And they're not putting their soul into it anymore. They're not doing that anymore. And again, I don't have a problem with people who have been doing it for a while. I have a problem that are people that are new. Like, for instance, students in school. They don't know how to write a paper, so they make AI do it. Versus all of us at the
Whoa,
table
whoa, whoa,
who have written papers before
But the problem
can
is
write a paper.
But do you know why that's a problem?
Yeah, because they're not like they don't have a base of knowledge how to do something.
Correct.
And now they're just leaning on AI to do it, and so they'll never get those skills.
Right.
They're never struggling through the hard part.
And then bleeding it back to the first part you were mentioning, Goats has run these systems. Goats knows how to run a campaign if Goats wants to. So as a result, using AI as a tool to kind of augment that, I'm still at 100% hard disagree, but given the conversation pieces here, I guess I'll soften it to a 90% hard disagree and a 10% agree, because using it as a tool to help you, like, short.
Turnip says, historically, Goats is right. Everything that was bad and caused job loss, ultimately, I think they mean Blue. Historically, Blue is right. Everything that was bad and caused job loss ultimately created a similar amount of jobs, i.e., the Industrial Revolution.
I think Turnip meant Goats, because Goats' argument was that TV and all these things like they were once considered bad.
Oh, okay.
But
bad, Turnip.
yeah.
Please don't kick me in the nuts.
I mean, and I agree, like, it's like a calculator is a tool that can be abused to the point where they don't learn. I do agree there's some basic learning.
Correct.
But to your argument about the backstories, I think that's perfectly fine if you have an idea for a backstory and you're not that eloquent, so you have the AI and you read it over and you're like, I like this. I would have never thought about this backstory. I want to use this because I would have never thought of it. I think that is totally valid and totally fine. I think that when people have, like, so example, for one group, I play in a group for Tuesday, and I told them I want to try this running AI background idea and see how people, and see, I got so many things of disgust. Like, I asked them, I want to murder your children. And I was like,
bro, calm down.
That's like that disgust. I mean, I agree. I absolutely agree with you guys about monetary. Like, if I was making money off of this, no.
Scumbaggery.
But I mean, I think just a friendly game or just something, because you know, one of the things I always find issue with is when I'm in games, I make this elaborate story and it never gets used.
Oh yeah. All that work you spent doing.
How much I would kill for a DM to put my backstory, have it involved in the story they created.
Right.
And with AI, I can do that. I can ask my players, give me your backstories. And now I'm gonna tell the AI to make sure to incorporate parts of their backstory.
Bag is really loud.
Which bag? This bag? This one?
Incorporate
Haters.
Their backstory into the story that is, and for DM that's hard to remember.
Right.
As a person, it's hard to remember. Now with AI, can remember that and make sure to incorporate that when it help you create the story. I'm not saying that you cannot blindly run anything, but I still think it's a tool that can be very useful. And I think that the negativity on like, oh my God, you're using AI, we hate you now. This is horrible. I don't understand that much of a visceral reaction to it. Especially for fun and recreationally.
There are a lot of people that have pitchforks in their closet, and they are just excited to fucking get them out for anything.
Well, I can, as somebody who is outraged by AI, I can explain some of the outrage. Like I said, some of the biases from like the general in-shitification of everything. Just basically, we want to extract maximum value. Imagine having a worker, or having a DM, or having a player, or having something that you can use 100%, and they won't go to sleep, and they can just work 24/7. That is the wet dream of all the oligarchs, of all the robber barons and the billionaires and all that out there. And the reason why it trickles down is because, hey, it's making money. So you start seeing AI, and like fucking Netflix has AI, fucking Roku has AI inside of it. Twitch has fucking AI everywhere. There's fucking Nightbot is virtually AI, relatively speaking. And it gets to the point to where AI is being used as this thing to say that we have these amazing things. Look what we can do with AI. But then when you look at the actual studies that have been done on it, going to what Bear was saying before and augmenting what I was mentioning before for you, when students use AI in college, it's not that using AI is causing them to become dumber or not as good at the thing. What's happening is that if they use AI to write their entire paper and say, fuck it, I'm not going to learn this topic, then they don't learn anything. You don't get anything.
Listen, I go back to when white people just paid other people to do it for them.
Well, but even in those situations, no, because like you bring up a good point. One of the things that some people brought up, just kind of shifting the argument a little bit more into this direction, the radical direction, if you will, the radical activism side. One of the reasons why persons of color I'm not saying do, but can have more creativity than persons of non-color, specifically the majority of the white people that we say, specifically in America, exactly, is because people of color have gone through some struggles and they had to like do stuff. Like, hey, I didn't have like all these things. I played with pipe cleaners and it was being creative. Meanwhile, you had all these TVs and things that you could pay somebody to entertain you. But going through the struggle, you end up building those skills and you build the creativity. So going back to what you're saying.
If you're not struggling, you're not living. Sushi says, at Bear, I agree. If Goats already has the capability to do everything,
right,
but uses it to help continue his hobby since his life has become busier, that's fine.
Yep.
And then at Goats, as Sushi says, I think if you're upfront with your players about wanting to try it, I'd give it a shot. And I appreciate you asking to try it with the right group rather than just starting it.
Yep.
But I'd try it with you without an issue.
It's ethics and creativity. I mean,
I think Sushi dismisses you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should be upfront with it. But I guess, again, to your point, is there's a lot of, it is a tool that can be abused and cause a lot of problems. A calculator is a tool that can be, how many people can't do sometimes basic math now because they have calculators on their phone and everything, like everything's at their phone. How many people can't no longer go to a library and know how to look up a book because they have the internet?
Or they can't find where they're going.
But
they
all this
Google
is
everything.
I Google Map everything.
GPS, yeah.
Or again, use a map, use an atlas. But that means no one's poo-pooing them.
Yes, they are.
As hard.
No, yes, they
as
are.
hard as AI.
Yes, they are. So the reason why I say yes, the reason why I say yes, they are is because like when you're in a money making environment, profit is the motive. It's like, why would you have a worker spend that time? Like I work in tech, and we do networking stuff. So why would you have a worker? Why would you have me do subnetting by paper when I can literally just go on the internet and just use a subnet calculator? I still remember some of the basics of doing subnetting, but if you actually do it right now, it'll take me like maybe 25 minutes to remember shit. But that doesn't mean that I'm losing skills or I'm any worse off. So what I'm saying is, going to what you're saying, why waste the time doing the thing that we don't need to do anymore? So calculator argument, I think, is different from the AI argument, because the AI argument is about creativity. You're never not going to need to be creative, especially if you're running a game. But if you're doing, simple math like adding up the score for our games, a calculator is just fine. I mean, you can do the mental math and try to go for it, but one, that's prone to mistakes every once in a while. And two, I'm going to type it into this app anyway.
But that's fine because you have learned, as you pointed out, you have learned the math beforehand without using a calculator.
Correct.
I guarantee you, if I gave my 3-year-old a calculator and never made her learn math, she'd be in trouble when she had to learn math because of the calculator.
Right.
But the thing is, like, I feel like there's a bad visceral reaction to any AI. You mentioned AI anything, and I get it, and there's a lot of truth because every job saying this is how AI is going to improve our workforce.
Right.
We're going to get rid of people, which I think is not going to work. It's going to blow up in their faces.
Correct.
And it's going to go horribly.
It is blowing up in
but
their
because
faces.
of that, everyone has just a visceral reaction to it, and I don't understand why you can't use AI. Like an AI as a tool to help me, and if I need some help being creative, and I want to incorporate all my characters' backstories in them, why can't I use AI to create a character background for my character? As long as I've read it and I agree with it and that's what I want, and I find it very interesting, and I can role play that, why can't I do that?
If you're going to do it, can you at least try to make it not like the AI? Like, just try it, doctor it a little bit. Come on.
I think that if you use the AI for that, instead of just copy and paste and cut and dry what the AI gives you, you should read it, take some parts of it, make it your own.
Still do the creativity part.
Use it like you say, if the AI says, you're 6 feet tall with red horns. Okay, cool. So I have horns and I'm that tall. You know what? I am 5'11" and my horns curl.
Right.
You made it your own.
No, but again, going back to Goat's original point, the reason why I softened to like from 100% disagree to 10% is because it's like, hey, give me a starting point and I'll add the creativity. AI is really good at getting synonyms and making it sound pretty and look flowery, but at a certain point, you still need to get the base prompt. Like you said, your prompt still needs to be good.
Sushi says, as far as the tabletop products, I don't want to buy a product that AI was used to create.
I agree.
If they're mass publishing, AI feels like cheating without even going into argument about AI stealing from other. Fuck you, we moved it.
Oh damn, slow down.
An argument about AI stealing from other artists. It just feels lazy and uninspired. I want writers, artists, and passion to go into the products.
And certainly, if we're talking about like a product, an actual like TTRPG, no, I don't want AI. But I don't mind it. To your backstory thing,
correct.
Is why can't you go? Okay, it said I'm 6'5" and have horns.
Yeah.
Why can't your next question be to AI? Well, why do I have horns?
Ooh,
because
okay.
your mother and whatever had sex with the devil or something like, or whatever.
Yeah.
Correct.
And to me, that is okay. And then you take both that backstory and you tell Brian, okay, here's my character. I'm 6'5", I have horns because my mama had sex with the devil. Why is that not valid?
I mean, I guess it is, but
everybody's making it sound like you just said. You were like, oh, I hate it. I don't. Let me correct this thing because I don't fully remember what you said, but you dislike it when people just come with a backstory they got off AI.
My intention with saying that was essentially the same thing. Like, I don't mind if you bounce I bounce ideas off of ChatGPT all the time.
Right.
But then I take it, I copy and paste it out of it. I put in there, I try to write whatever I'm trying to do. I put it in the ChatGPT, it does its thing, it spits it back out, and then I have a point that I'd be like, oh, I'd put my own spin on it because I'm like, I said this and you said that, and that's not where I was going. But it gives me something to correct and change and do. So I don't think anything's wrong with that. But at least do that portion. Don't just copy and paste it and hand me the fucking.
But why can't I again take what it said and say, okay, well, why did you give me this? I actually wanted you to go this direction, and then give it back to it, and it gives you another thing. Okay, cool, this is nice. I like this and this part and this part, and then give me this part, and then why can't I hand you that final product of me going through it and get back to you?
My final portion on this part of it was literally the player that I'm talking about copy and pasted it and didn't get rid of the is this how you want it, like the conversation from ChatGPT.
So literally just copy and paste.
Yeah, and I'm like, you didn't even take the time to read your own shit. Yeah. Nonetheless,
right?
You expect me to read it and incorporate it into a story?
Well, but again, oh, go ahead.
What I will say is, they create their backstory with the AI, right?
Right.
Remember, you as the GM, DM, or whatever, you could turn whatever you want from that story into their future story. Yeah, so you got control of that. There's no AI in that. So it's like, you brought the AI, cool, I see it, and now I made it into this masterpiece. Yeah. See? So it's just like, AI doesn't define them, AI starts them. And then you, with your skills, with your imagination, with your turn it into that.
So, my question for everybody, bouncing this off of that, I'm not against AI, but
fuck AI.
What did we do? No, don't fuck it. I feel like AI is a useful tool, and just like a hammer or anything else.
Don't fuck AI.
I mean, if I could.
Well, I kind of wanted to get to the spicy part of my thing because I did promise that it would be the spicy part to it. But go ahead.
Go ahead, get your spice.
Oh, I really want to say I do think AI should be age gated. I will agree with you that it should be age gated. It should be. It shouldn't be 16-year-olds and then making AI friends with AI. Like you need to have it age gated. But to the point of AI is not starting to get into porn, as the guy announced. So that's what I'm saying. You can make now spicy AI. But
I mean, there are. I have worked for rich people in the past, and there are quite a few rich people that don't let their children use calculators. They're allowed to use abacuses. They're allowed to use other.
You know why? Because the rich people have the resources to afford the fucking teaching for that.
I agree. I'm just saying, but I don't know if that makes a better person than the end.
I want to make a quick argument on that. I feel like that's parenting, not resources. Because for example, for example, you can use rocks.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true.
You can use rocks to do that same kind of thing. So it is about parenting, not finance.
But oh, go ahead.
If you need to count to 10,000, you need a lot of rocks. That's finances. You gotta have to find that from someone.
Finances or time.
Abacus works.
Yeah,
well, no, but he said rocks. He said rocks for his example.
I'm talking about rocks himself.
I mean, it wouldn't be that many rocks then.
And
everyone's a different tent space.
Right. But Bear, you have to know how to use abacus to make the rocks do abacus things.
Fucking rocket science. It's beads on strings.
Somebody can teach you that.
I mean, I'm glad that the Chinese people invented it, but it's not rocket science.
Somebody can teach you that. However, you have to have somebody teach you that. Like the thing that I wanted to go back at.
Okay.
Just to be more specific, this is not necessarily changing lanes, but just going back on the thing I wanted to comment on. Yes, it's a parenting issue. It's a parenting issue. It's all a parenting issue. So why are you age gating AI if you're not being a fucking good parent? Because you are a great parent, and I don't know if you guys have kids, but if you guys had kids, I'm assuming you guys would be great parents. Just because AI exists, actually, let me say it this way. The ubiquity of technology, the fact that technology exists everywhere, is not an excuse to be a shitty parent. So just because you can play your Nintendo Switch all night doesn't mean that you can't turn the fucking internet off. That doesn't mean you can't take the power cord away and let it die so your kid can't play all night.
That being said, as someone who has a kid, you can be a good parent, and that 1 second you take a break and take a breather, your kid jumped out the window. Like your kid has done something because you
for sure. Life happens. Yeah.
Oh my god, the house is quiet.
Life happens.
Yeah. Something's wrong. Let me go figure out what something.
I have kids that I know that.
But that's when, and that's why I think it should be age gated because there's a point where kids nowadays can get access to it. They have phones. Everybody has phones. And you need to age gate it. I think because to the point of math, to the point of learning how to do math and cheating on tests, it should be age gated so you can't get access to that until you turn 18. I think you should have a government ID. You have to scan in there to use the AI.
That's a whole other bill. That's a whole other bill.
I have just two things to add on to that. I feel like, so the first part is I feel like in order for you to use the AI or get access to the AI, you should at least know how to do the thing first.
The basics.
I think you earn the right to use AI after correct. If I know long division, you know what? I know this, I mastered it. Let me use AI to do it for me because I actually know it.
Yep.
The second thing is human beings create things for convenience.
Yep.
So AI is a convenient thing.
It's a convenient thing.
And
it's
whether
not a
you like it or not, the world's going to get more and more inconvenient as life goes on.
All right. I'm going to counter that.
As someone who never used AI.
I went to community college multiple times, and every time math is what held me back. Because I would do math a certain way, and my teacher would yell at me. Because I'd like to do it in my head versus writing it all out.
Right.
And so I think the 3 times I've gone to community college and tried to advance myself, I always get hung up on math because I'm stubborn and I want to do it my way.
I love that.
Right.
And I love math too, but I love math the way I do it.
Right.
And I don't want to do it their way. And they're like, well, we got it anyways. So but the thing I was going to school for was like, had nothing to do with math. It was just the community college that they were like, you got to have these credits to move forward.
Yeah.
Like, none of this requires math. So if I could use AI to get past that and not have to actually show my work or anything,
no, Bear,
I don't
do
need
it.
that.
Don't do it.
I am 41 years old, and the thing I was going into had nothing to do with math.
But
So
you still
why-
use math every day, though, right?
No, I don't need trigonometry.
When you were adding your score or doing math, multiplication.
Right,
Simple basic stuff.
I've mastered that. This was not what they wanted me to do.
Differential
algebra.
equation and stuff.
Yeah, like I can,
Diffie
like
cube.
I know PEMDAS and all that shit, but I mean I don't need to go through this shit again.
Guys,
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
But to kind of to Bear's point though, like sometimes you just don't want to do the work. It's like for example, the board game we played.
Yeah.
You brought the app and did
was
the
over,
calculation there. You didn't need to do that. You could have done it on paper and like we didn't need to bring in technology, but you brought technology into it, even though we didn't need to.
Right.
Because it made things convenient.
But again, that technology is not AI. I know that I will do math. I'll do mental math and I'll add up things like when I was counting out my stuff, I was doing mental math there. I did the multiplication, mental math, simple stuff. But again, once it gets to a certain point of like, okay, I got to add 30 plus 45 plus 25 plus 6 plus 3. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to put this fucking calculator. I don't care.
Turnip does say that's the purpose of the function of parental controls on devices.
Right.
Yeah.
Which goes to my source argument, which is just because technology exists, just because AI exists, doesn't mean that you as a parent can abdicate your responsibility to making sure that your kid understands. Like I had to unlock Grand Theft Auto when I wanted to get a Grand Theft Auto. What I mean by that is like I want to get Grand Theft Auto 3 for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, PlayStation 2. And my parents would not let me get it or Vice City. My parents would not let me get it until I fully understood what was happening in the game.
And beat a hooker in real life and ran over with a car?
No. Until I fully understood.
Until you became a man.
Until I fully understood the ramifications of what's happening in the game, why it's not real life, like the difference between like right and wrong, the difference between good and evil, and then like because my parents are full aware of like Grand Theft Auto, what the hysteria was for it. But they said, hey, you got to make sure you have an understanding. And as a 14-year-old, my parents bought me Grand Theft Auto Vice City, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Vice City. Don't quote me on that. And I played it. And I played it. It was fun. And I had a lot of fun. But the point is like because Grand Theft Auto existed and they could get me the game, that didn't abdicate their responsibility to teach me to not be a shitty person.
Yep. And I certainly agree that is one of those things where if a kid wants to play a violent game, I think you should sit them down and be like, hey, this is a video game, this is violent, there are no consequences. Let me explain the consequences of you do this in real life.
Right.
And especially depending on your cultural background, let me really explain the consequences of doing this in real life.
So close.
So our debate is getting long in the tooth,
yes.
And I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Well, we got to beat AI. Beat the dead horse of AI.
Again, I feel like you've won me towards your portion. Again, I wasn't against it, and I feel like it's a useful tool, but I feel like there needs to be some guardrails on it.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree with that.
Some guardrails because grown-ass adults don't know how to fucking learn.
I mean, I don't want to get too political, but when our government is showing AI stuff they printed out, and then they
some grown-ass adults who have a lot of power are pooping over cities.
Proofread it before they showed it to America. Yeah, I get it. So there needs to be guardrails, and it needs to be.
You know what those guardrails are? It's called having actual fucking morals.
It needs to be. I'm trying to wrap this up in here. It needs to have guardrails. It needs to have. It's a tool. It's not the solution to everything.
May I give one final word before we wrap up?
This is yours.
So I certainly agree that AI can be abused like any other positive tool. The internet or anything can be easily abused, and I don't encourage that. I just think that as a tool for role playing, especially if you can get the consent of your players,
right,
that it is totally valid to, for example, is me with a kid, job, and everything else is, hey AI, this is the story that me and the players we did this microscope thing. This is the microscope we did. This is the universe we built. I now need you to incorporate it into a story and give me the plot points. And then if I sit there and go, okay, I like this point, remove this, do this, give me more detail. I think it's a totally valid thing of using it as a tool or an assistant, but not replacing the human element of running the game and some of that basic creativity.
Sushi says, I'm going back a little. GTA teaching life lessons since 1997. Then Turnip chimes in and says, AI is literally just algorithms, so you're kind of letting math do your math? And then Sushi says, it's about damn time math has a taste of his own medicine.
One thing I was going to say was like all the things that you said, I would agree. The reason why is because what you talked about were ethics. If you use AI ethically, then you can use it for whatever you want. But the ethical part is, one, understanding what you're doing, not cheating in schools and stuff with it. Two, not using it to use deep fakes and all that stuff. And then three, hey, players, I want to use AI for my stuff. Are y'all cool with that? Okay, y'all cool with that? Oh, no, you're not cool with it? Okay, cool, I won't use it. We'll just kind of use some canned Underdark stories.
You're not cool with it? Get the fuck out of my game.
Or just don't tell them using AI.
No, because that's not ethical. The ethics, if you follow ethics, then you can do whatever you want with AI. I'm all for it.
But then don't act like I kicked the dog. Okay, don't act like I kicked the dog if I say I want to try to use it.
Yeah,
because reactions have been like, I feel like I kicked a dog in front of them, and they're like, "Wow, you're a monster." I'm like,
because the default usage of AI in our current society is non-ethically. The default usage is, I want porn of Miley Cyrus, and I'm going to put in a prompt and get a porn video of Miley Cyrus and masturbate to
I've
it.
used a lot of AI. I have never looked up any kind of porn from any famous person.
Not yet.
they're gonna open it up.
Now that you don't know.
But again, to saying this, I just wish we didn't have that negative reaction. And that's my hot take. Don't have the negative reaction to somebody using AI. Just think about the person who's using it, and think about what you think of them ethically, and think if that's okay if you think they can use it ethically, and then don't act like they kicked a dog.
And that I agree with your point. However, I don't know people's morals and ethics when it comes to technology, so I'm gonna err on the side of caution and say, yeah, you're gonna use it like fucking shitting over a city or because of a protest.
Yeah.
So, right. where are you at percentage wise now?
I'm still. I dropped it to 95.5.
Damn. Well, you were at 0.
I was at 0. It went up to 90-10, and then
90-10.
No, 90%, 10%, 90% against, 10% with.
Okay, so
and then it dropped down to 95% with and 5%. Because I think the ethics argument was a very strong one, but I don't trust people to use it ethically.
Depending on what it's used for. Mm-hmm. So I'm 70-30. Okay. 70 against 34, depending on what it's used for.
Ooh, 10. Sorry.
I'm still in the same boat because I think we agree on that. So yeah.
So and I realistically, I think I would give it 70-30, but the opposite direction.
Okay.
Because it can be abused. Because I've seen people publish modules for a game. And you can tell that they've been using AI because it basically all had this one busty woman with like ridiculous rail fin, but like bazungas out the wazoo.
And her back doesn't hurt.
Yeah, and so yeah. But
our last online comment from Sushi: this should inspire you to go to the gym. So he had to write something as I'm fucking typing. The gym because your future doctors are using AI to get through school. That's not. And he says that's not
to the gym 3 times a week.
Wait. I don't understand this argument. This should inspire you to go to the
get healthy
gym
because your doctor's gonna suck in the future.
No. Sushi. What you're saying? What you're saying is that we should not trust doctors, and that's worse than no. I hard disagree with whatever Sushi said. I'm ignoring that.
I'm trying to get it to move.
I can't do labs. Turnip says.
Well, it can.
Not with that attitude.
It can very soon if you have the values and the parameters to equal a certain thing.
Yeah,
you could program into AI just running things and finding it.
Sushi, Turnip works with AI, so she's
not yet.
Not yet. That's the correct answer. Hopefully never.
Hopefully never. I got my pitchforks ready.
Well, let me know when it starts cloning people.
Let me hear your comments. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Get at me in the comments.
If you have strong feelings like me, please feel free to mention me. I'm I agree with Cool Blue. I agree with me too.
Go to the gym anyway, so she says, and Turnip agrees.
Yeah.
Wait, did Turnip say agree with
at least 3 times a week?
Turnip agrees. I don't know.
I like that agreed with no context.
All right. I'm about to say I love everybody. That's not the right way to
Wait, no, but you do love everybody. You love your viewers.
I do not love everybody. I love you guys.
But hey, I tolerate you viewers. See you next time.
If people,
the ones that I know I love. I gotta anyways.
But if people want to see you live, where can they find you?
www.
Oh god. Okay.
Dapper
If you want to find us live,
America's
feel
Most
free to
Wanted.
check us out on twitch.tv/FNG Raleigh NC. That's FNG Raleigh NC. And then you can see us live whenever we go live every Thursday, just about every Thursday.
At 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7:25 p.m. because I like to play music. Music is nice. People like music. We like vibing out.
All right, everybody, keep those dice rolling. Sushi, don't tell people where I live.